The meeting is now called to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Legislators May. Here. Meeker.
Here.
Gunnip.
Here.
Cody. Here. Abbott.
Here.
Romeo.
Here.
Fiato.
Here.
Harvey.
Here.
Olson.
Here.
McCarran.
Here.
Knapp. Bush. Kelly. Brown.
Here.
Garland. Hernandez.
Here.
Mr. Chairman.
Here.
17 present, none absent.
Please stand for the invocation given by Legislator Brown and remain standing for the salute to the flag by Legislator Garland.
Thank you. Let us take a moment to center ourselves as we begin this session. We gather here today with a shared commitment to serve our community with wisdom, integrity, and fairness. May our deliberations be guided by thoughtfulness and respect, ensuring that every decision we make reflects the values of justice, equity, and the well-being of those we represent. May we listen with open minds, speak with clarity, and act with courage, knowing that the work we do today will shape the future of our county. Let us seek unity where there is division, solutions where there are challenges, and hope where there is uncertainty. With that spirit, let us move forward together in service to all. Amen.
Are there any corrections to the minutes of the previous session? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. Are there any communications to be presented?
As listed on the agenda.
Thank you. Has anyone signed up for public comment period?
Yes.
I have one. I'll call the name of the speaker, and there's 30 minutes for this period, but the speaker should take about 3 minutes. I have Elaine Denton. Would you come, please?
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Elaine Denton, and I live in the town of Manlius. I wanted to come here today to share my thoughts on amending Law 3-1996. First, we have been here before. In 2007, the legislature amended this law to increase the limit of donations to $10,000 from friend groups. It stated that a quarterly written report would be provided to each member of the legislature on March 1st, June 1st, September 1st, and December 1st, each year specifying any items that were received during that quarter. Have any of you received these quarterly reports? If not, I would wait on passing further changes on donations until the current law is followed. Secondly, in Section 2 of this proposal, this law states the county is in the process of selling the naming rights. But in 2017, Comptroller Antonacci sent a letter to the legislature with concerns and recommendations that this body should be involved and approve naming agreements. To quote from this letter, the power of municipalities to name a building for pecuniary gain is questionable. What is absolutely clear is the power to name a building is a power for the legislative body of a municipality. Presently, there is no authority for the county executive to contract such power away, much less to undertake it independent of the legislature, end quote. Yet this proposed law acknowledges that the county is working on this once again with no checks and balances provided by the legislature. And lastly, for the county executive to be focused on filling a $10 million funding gap for an expensive aquarium during a time when residents are losing their jobs, costs are rising, and people can't afford basic needs is shameful. Nonprofits, governments, schools, and more may be losing critical federal funding, but here in Onondaga County, it's doing everything they can to build an aquarium. The Destiny, the amphitheater, Amazon, all sold to us that they would bring jobs and economic benefits to Onondaga County. Yet here we are with the same problems we have had. I ask you again to stop this project. Take the loss now and turn it into a positive for our community by investing in housing, transportation, and let's get rid of the lead in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, the public comment period is now closed. The clerk will begin the call of districts, starting with district number 15.
District 15, Mr. Brown.
None.
District 16, Mr. Garland.
None.
District 17, Ms. Hernandez.
None.
District 1, Mr. May.
None.
District 2, Mr. Meeker.
None.
District 3, Mr. Burtis.
Leader May.
Chairman, I rise and offer item 1 and urge its adoption.
Confirming appointment to the Onondaga County Water Authority.
Leader May.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm glad to offer John Doherty as the proposed appointment for this position. John is a former legislator on the legislature and also previously on that board, and will continue doing a great job in this new role. I urge its adoption. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Knapp. Co-sponsor, please. Any other discussion? Very well. Appreciate John Doherty stepping up. Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 1 is adopted.
District 4, Ms. Gunnip.
I rise and offer items 2 through 7 and ask for their adoption.
Confirming appointments to the Onondaga County Syracuse Commission on Human Rights.
Legislator Gunnip.
Yes, this is 5 reappointments and 2 new appointments to the Human Rights Committee, and I ask for the adoption.
Any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 2 is adopted. Number 3.
Personnel resolution.
This is for the HELP program, which was initiated a couple of years ago. The state extended it, and we are adding more titles. It's helping us hire the positions that we currently have vacant. So I'd ask for the adoption of this resolution.
Any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 3 is adopted. Number 4.
A resolution authorizing renovations to the county clerk's office in and for the county of Onondaga, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $500,000, and authorizing the issuance of $500,000 bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Gunnip.
Yes, this is a bond resolution. It was in the capital improvement plan that was approved during the budget time. This is for the county clerk's office on the 2nd floor of the courthouse. This will result in office and furniture reconfiguration, improvements to public areas, employee break, flooring restoration, new painting, and data technology improvements. I ask for the adoption of the bond resolution.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May. Yes. Hernandez. Brown. Garland. Yes. Meeker.
Yes.
Gunnip.
Yes.
Cody. Yes. Abbott.
Yes.
Romeo.
Yes.
Fiato.
Yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
Knapp. Yes. Bush. Yes. Kelly. Yes. Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 4 is adopted. Number 5.
Approving and directing the correction of certain errors on tax bills.
Legislator Gunnip.
As stated, this is various errors that were determined to be needed to be corrected for different towns and villages in the county. I ask for its adoption.
Any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 5 is adopted. Number 6.
Authorizing the settlement of the action filed with the United States District Court for the Northern District of New York, Michelle Arizosa versus Onondaga County, Tobias Shelley, Patrick Mast, Heidi Armstrong Merle, case number 924-CV-437.
Legislator Gunnip.
Yes, I ask for the adoption of this settlement as read.
Any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 6 is adopted. Number 7.
Authorizing the settlement of action filed with the United States District Court for the Northern District of New York, Camilla S. Peck versus County of Onondaga, Eugene Conway, Catherine Trask, Jonathan Sieber, Kelly Sieber, Susan Damari, Esteban Gonzalez, Paula Pellizzari, Don Curry Clary, and Paul Smith, case number 21-CV-651.
Legislator Gunnop.
Yes, again, I ask for the settlement of this as read.
Thank you.
Approval.
Is there any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 7 is adopted.
District 5, Ms. Cody.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise to offer resolutions number 5 through 13, no, I'm sorry, number 8 through 13, and ask for their adoption.
Thank you.
Confirming appointment by the county executive to the Onondaga County Public Library Board of Trustees.
Legislator Cody.
Yes. This is an appointment to the library board, Ellen Mabuke. Ellen is quite experienced in the communications field, which will be much appreciated for the library board.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 8 is adopted. Number 9.
A resolution authorizing security improvements at various county facilities in and for the County of Onondaga, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $2 million, and authorizing the issuance of $2 million bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Cody.
Yes, this is the ongoing security measures at the Civic Center. This resolution will cover various infrastructure, cameras, scanning equipment as they continue to make that building safe for everyone.
Is there any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May. Yes. Hernandez.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Garland. Yes. Meeker.
Yes.
Gunnett.
Yes.
Cody.
Yes.
Abbott. Romeo.
Yes.
Fiato.
Yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
Knapp. Bush. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 9 is adopted. Number 10.
A resolution authorizing the issuance of an additional $7 million bonds of the County of Onondaga, New York, to pay costs related to the courthouse HVAC renovations in and for said county.
Legislator Cody.
Yes, again, this is a continuation of a project that's been going on for some time with HVAC, heating and cooling improvements to this building that we're in.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May. Yes. Hernandez.
Yes.
Brown. Yes. Garland. Yes. Meeker.
Yes.
Gunnett.
Yes.
Cody.
Yes.
Abbott. Yes. Romeo.
Yes.
Fiato.
Yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
Knapp. Yes. Bush.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 10 is adopted. Number 11.
A resolution authorizing improvements to various county facilities in and for the County of Onondaga, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $500,000, and authorizing the issuance of $500,000 bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Cody.
Yes, this resolution comes to us every year. This allows the facilities department to make improvements and repairs and just maintain all of our awesome county facilities and keep them in good working order.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May. Yes. Hernandez.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Garland. Yes. Meeker.
Yes.
Gunnett.
Yes.
Cody. Abbott.
Yes.
Romeo.
Yes.
Fiato.
Yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
Knapp. Bush.
Yes.
Kelly. Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 11 is adopted. Number 12.
A resolution authorizing improvements to Oneida Shores facilities in and for the County of Onondaga, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $2,252,000, and authorizing the issuance of $2,252,000 bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Cody.
Yes, this resolution, this funding will help wrap up the work that's being done out at Oneida Shores. Our Facilities Committee was out there a while back and saw the progress that had been made, and also saw the need for some of these things, especially that they're going to have a new changing facility, restroom, office, which will be awesome out there. Some work up at Arrowhead Lodge and finishing up some paving at the campground, and so this will complete the Oneida Shores projects.
Thank you. Any other discussion? It's a wonderful project, a wonderful area. The clerk, please call long call.
Legislators May? Hernandez?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Meeker?
Yes.
Gunnip? Cody?
Yes.
Abbott?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Fiato?
Yes.
Harvey?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Bush?
Yes.
Kelly? Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 12 is adopted. Number 13.
A resolution authorizing improvements to various parks in and for the County of Onondaga, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $2,205,000, and authorizing the issuance of $2,205,000 bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Cody.
Yes, this is another one that comes to us every year, allowing our Parks Department to keep the upkeep and maintenance and repairs on all of our beautiful county parks.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May? Yes. Hernandez?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Yes. Meeker?
Yes.
Gunnip?
Yes.
Cody? Yes. Abbott? Yes. Romeo?
Yes.
Fiato?
Yes.
Harvey?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Yes. Bush?
Yes.
Kelly? Yes. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 13 is adopted.
District 6, Ms. Abbott.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I rise and offer items 14 and 15 and urge their adoption.
A resolution authorizing ash tree management in and for the County of Onondaga, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $750,000, and authorizing the issuance of $750,000 bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Abbott.
Thank you. Yes, this would continue our program to manage the pesky little emerald ash borer that is desecrating our ash trees in Onondaga County. The Soil and Water Conservation District will be continuing the work, and the good news is it's been impactful, and part of this round of funding over the next 5 years would include planting saplings, little baby ash trees, so we can keep these native and we can enjoy ash trees here.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion about the emerald ash borer? No? Will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May? Yes. Hernandez?
Yes.
Brown? Yes. Garland? Yes. Meeker?
Yes.
Gunnip?
Yes.
Cody? Yes. Abbott?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Fiato?
Yes.
Harvey?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Yes. Bush?
Yes.
Kelly? Yes. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 14 is adopted. Number 15.
Transfer resolution.
Legislator Abbott.
Thank you. This $35,000 would go from the salary line to the expense line for the Water Environment Protection Department. And basically, it's just cost overruns associated with that notorious sludge dryer that we're trying to get up and running. I believe they're close, if not there, like as of this week, over at our Metro Wastewater Treatment Facility.
Any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo, 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 15 is adopted.
District 7, Mr. Romeo.
None.
District 8, Ms. Fiato.
None.
District 9, Ms. Harvey.
None.
District 10, Mr. Olson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I rise and ask for adoption of items 16, 17, and 18.
2024 transfer resolution.
Legislator Olson.
Yes, this is from the Sheriff's Department to cover, there's two items, $1.4 million for overtime wages, that comes out of the salary line, and then $806,000, and that's coming for the mental health services that we contract for, that there's an overage. I ask its adoption, and he is under budget, and this is not a transfer from the contingency fund. This is going right from his balance of his budget.
Very well. Any other discussion? Leader May.
Thank you, Chairman. I would just like to add to Legislator Olson's comments. First, thanks to the Sheriff's Department for the information they provided, particularly on the overtime, which is, always a concern and historically a concern. I'd also like to just express my agreement that our jails should be run on overtime, and that was a strong point made. I think, for the record, I just would like to show, I'd like the record to show that I agree with that philosophy. And as importantly, just urge this body and the Sheriff's Department to stay diligent on that front so that we continue to stay under budget. So, thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 16 is adopted. Number 17.
A resolution authorizing renovations to the Sheriff's Evidence Storage Area in and for the County of Onondaga, New York at a maximum estimated cost of $5,475,000 and authorizing the issuance of $5,475,000 bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Olson.
So this is a project that has literally been going on for decades. 3 sheriffs has worked on this project. The facilities committee has worked on this project, looking at working with the city. Now that we have a plan, the city is building their own evidence record storage, and the county is working in a building that we own now on Molloy Road to do this project. I give credit to everybody involved, from facilities to the Sheriff's Department to the county ledge to everybody that's done work on this project. This will happen for $5.475 million, and this is going to be an asset to the community and to the evidence storage that we need so greatly for the Sheriff's Department. I urge its adoption.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Legislator Cody.
Yes, having visited the evidence storage unit, as many of us have, I'm just really happy to see this. I know we had looked at some other facilities as possibilities. I think it's great that it's being kept right there at that site. The impound lot, everything is right there. So I'm just really excited to see this, and I'd like to co-sponsor. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Legislator Garland.
I would like to co-sponsor also.
Very well. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Garland.
Yes.
Meeker.
Yes.
Gunnett.
Yes.
Cody. Abbott.
Yes.
Romeo.
Yes.
Fiato.
Yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
Knapp. Bush.
Yes.
Kelly. Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 17 is adopted. Number 18.
A resolution authorizing computer-aided dispatch system updates in and for the County of Onondaga, New York at a maximum estimated cost of $750,000 and authorizing the issuance of $750,000 bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Olson.
So this resolution authorizes the 911 system to look into updating our current software. Our current CAD software is over 5 years old. This will allow the latest and most important asset in the 911 system to be upgraded to make sure that we ensure that everybody, the first responders down, have the information they need. So this CAD is a very important aspect of 911, and I urge its adoption. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May.
Yes.
Hernandez. Brown.
Yes.
Garland.
Yes.
Meeker.
Yes.
Gunnett.
Yes.
Cody. Abbott. Romeo.
Yes.
Fiato.
Yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
Knapp.
Yes.
Bush.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent.
Resolution number 18 is adopted.
District 11, Mr. McCarron.
None.
District 12, Mr. Knapp.
Thank you. I rise on behalf of the Planning and Economic Development Committee to present items 19 and 20 and urge their adoption.
Confirming appointments to the Onondaga County Planning Board.
Legislator Knapp.
Thank you. Got a couple of short calls here, so we can do this quickly. Item 19 is confirming the appointment of 5 members of the County Planning Board. This is a very, very important board. We have several members who have been on there for a significant amount of time and have termed off. And so we had to get some new folks in there. These folks represent different parts of the community, including agriculture, and Mr. Radke is a reappointment. This is even more important as we move forward with our economic development plans in the county, that they're involved as these towns make very important decisions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 19 is adopted. Number 20.
2024 transfer resolution.
Legislator Knapp.
Thank you. This transfer resolution is from contingency for $1.5 million, and it's to develop a workforce development plan, working with different organizations such as the Manufacturers Association of Central New York, as well as our colleges, universities, and others to really try and get ahead of the game on what's coming down the pike, everything from high-tech manufacturing to plumbing and steam fitting and welding and construction to build these new facilities, all of which is going to be in high demand coming up very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Leader Hernandez.
I will be voting yes, but there was just some concerns with, and I know we're in the beginning, but just some more details with the planning and what organizations you will really be working with. Just some more gusts in the plans.
Anyone else? Legislator Romeo.
Thank you, Chairman. So I'm a huge supporter of workforce development, and I think that we needed especially this type of workforce development. My concern with this is the detail that's associated with it, because I think that workforce development can be one of those things that we put money towards, and ultimately we're not getting the outcome that we're looking for. I'm not saying that this is going to be the case with this, just without the detail, I'm not able to have that confidence in the plan that's going to be brought here.
Any other discussion? Legislator Meeker.
I'd like to co-sponsor, please.
Very well. Any other discussion? No? Will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May. Yes. Hernandez. Yes. Brown.
No.
Garland. Yes. Meeker.
Yes.
Gunnett.
Yes.
Cody. Yes. Abbott.
Yes.
Romeo.
No.
Fiato.
Yes.
Harvey.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
Knapp. Yes. Bush. Yes. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
15 ayes, 2 opposed.
Resolution number 20 is adopted.
District 13, Mr. Bush.
None.
District 14, Dr. Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise to offer items 21 through 23 and urge their adoption.
A resolution authorizing construction of the Hillbrook Vocational Building in and for the County of Onondaga, New York at a maximum estimated cost of $5,500,000 and authorizing the issuance of $5,500,000 bonds of said county to pay costs thereof.
Legislator Kelly.
This resolution involves the bonding of $5.5 million to support various projects at the Hillbrook Detention Center, like a sensory room and a vocational building to help these residents get on the right path. DCFS worked closely with the state to develop this plan, and we anticipate full reimbursement. We withhold the right to forego any portions of the project that do not receive full reimbursement, and we look forward to its completion.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Leader May.
Thank you, Chairman. I agree with the concept and intent of this project. Certainly, there are no more rehabilitative people than the young folks who are at Hillbrook. So I think this is a good idea. And I'm going to support it, but I'm a little bit uneasy with the process and progression in how we need to do things, much like when we first took on Raise the Age and had to sort of hope that the state came through with reimbursement when we're done. That said, I just ask the committee to please receive or request follow-up at key milestones, such as any updates received from the state, or when there's a more formal plan or proposal being requested of the state for approval. But I do intend to approve this today, and thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Leader Hernandez.
Just a quick statement. You know, too often our local youth justice systems employ practices that ignore the lessons of these adolescents, right? The development, the research, conflict with the evidence of what works, right? So I'm really appreciative of this project. I would like to co-sponsor this and would like to be able to, you know, tour and make sure we're just kept abroad about the developmental plans and the design as well, because I want to make sure we keep in design, ensuring that we keep in mind the students with disabilities, those who are going to be there with phobies, and that means like the size of that sensory room. Is it going to be large enough for them not to feel like they're really incarcerated, and just things like that. But I would like to co-sponsor.
Very well. Is there any other discussion? Legislator Abbott.
Yeah, I think in theory this is a fantastic thing towards rehabilitating our youth who end up in here, and I do plan on supporting this, and I really hope New York State does come through regardless of what elected officials are in place a couple of years from now to be able to reimburse us for this, because we can't do this without them doing that, and it would really be a shame if the promises that are being made in the collaboration with the state don't come through for these youth. So that's all I want to say.
Very good. Is there any other discussion? Yes, Legislator Garland. Very well.
No.
Anyone else? Will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May? Yes. Hernandez?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Yes. Meeker?
Yes.
Gunnip?
Yes.
Cody? Yes. Abbott? Yes. Romeo?
Yes.
Fiato?
Yes.
Harvey?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly? Yes. Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 21 is adopted. Number 22.
Concerning certain proposed improvements to the Hillbrook Juvenile Detention Center, approving the classification of an unlisted action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, accepting the environmental assessment form, and accepting and adopting the negative declaration.
Legislator Kelly.
This resolution accepts the negative declaration under seeker for the items we bonded for in item 21.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 22 is adopted. Number 23.
2025 transfer resolution.
Legislator Kelly.
Thank you. This resolution allocates funding to combat Lyme and tick-borne illnesses in our community. Funding will be split between the CNY Lyme and Tick Alliance and the SUNY Upstate Tick Lab. I'd like to thank Dr. Thingamani, who was able to visit us from the Tick Lab at our health committee this month and talk about a lot of the developments and the work that he does at his lab, which offers subsidized testing of ticks for all Onondaga County residents. So this is an important piece of our public health efforts, and I urge its adoption.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Will the clerk please call a short call?
Legislators Abbott, May, Hernandez, Romeo. 17 ayes, none opposed.
Resolution number 23 is adopted. We will now consider the local laws as listed on the agenda. Will the deputy clerk please read the title for local law A?
A local law authorizing the sale of county property located in the town of Clay.
Thank you. Legislator Knapp.
Thank you. This local law is for the proposed sale of property in the town of Clay. The county acquired this property many, many years ago with the intention of potentially combining our DOT garages in the northern area of the county. In the end, that plan did not come to fruition, and we went a different direction. This land has sat there, and so it's time to move it along. The 1.3 million is slightly above the assessed value, so that is always good, and I urge adoption.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Legislator Meeker.
I'd like to co-sponsor, please.
Very well. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May? Yes. Hernandez? Yes. Brown? Yes. Garland? Yes. Meeker?
Yes.
Gunnip?
Yes.
Cody? Yes. Abbott? Yes. Romeo?
Yes.
Fiato?
Yes.
Harvey?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
17 ayes, none opposed.
Local Law A has passed. Local Law B.
A local law amending local law number 3 of 1996 to authorize Onondaga County to accept and appropriate gifts, contributions, and donations for the aquarium.
Legislator Cody.
Yes, this local law is actually very straightforward. It establishes that this legislature does not intend to appropriate additional funds for the aquarium. It creates a mechanism for the county executive to accept and appropriate donations to the project, and that this body will receive a quarterly report of those donations. Checks and balances for these donations, of course, are in place through the not-for-profit Aquarium Foundation and their board of directors, which is subject to ethics laws and rules for nonprofit entities.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Leader Hernandez.
Well, today I'll be voting no for this local law with concerns about the anonymous donations. As a county legislator, I always promise to lead with my constituents and their voices. And after numerous emails and phone calls about the anonymous donations, I'm going to vote no today. We do have a county leadership who hasn't always moved in an ethical way, a transparent way, or in a way that protects all of the lives of Onondaga County taxpayers. For all I know, a donor can say, if you get rid of DEA in the county, we'll give you the $11 million. There are also concerns about, is this $11 million going to be it, or is it going to keep snowballing into more $5 million, another $11 million? I just don't see an aquarium in Onondaga County, Syracuse, New York, even bringing in a revenue of $85 million or being sustainable. Look at Destiny USA, to be frank. Look at our zoo compared to others. Down the street from this aquarium, there's a heavily involved population of gang violence and drug use. What about the safetyness, right? We can start talking about issues like that. I am just still in disbelief that we are even building an aquarium while we are currently in a housing crisis. In 2024, Syracuse, New York has an overall poverty rate of 29%, which is among the highest in the United States. So I will be voting no.
Any other discussion? Legislator Brown.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm also going to be voting no on this legislation today. I do want to acknowledge that Section 3 does acknowledge that we don't plan on putting any more money into this project, and I actually think that's a good thing. I think, 5-10 years from now, we're going to refer back to Section 3 should this local law pass, because I do think this body is going to be asked to spend money on this project again, and I'm excited that it's going to be in writing that we're not going to do it. However, Section 4 for me is just too much to overlook. Public projects come with public transparency. If we were to, be reimbursed the initial $85 million and go fully private, then we can, use all of the mechanisms that come with, private projects, but as long as this is a public project, it should remain a public project, and the public deserves transparency, and I'm not willing to forego that for, political expediency. So I'm going to urge my colleagues to vote no, and I'll be voting no as well.
Is there any other discussion? Legislator Abbott.
I really do think this is political. If you are in the nonprofit world and you are somebody who fundraises, this is how it works. This is nothing new. I actually would like to ask if Mr. Yaus could speak to some of the checks and balances. I happen to be on the foundation board. I can tell you, without a doubt, I take my responsibility seriously. Ryan McMahon is not on our board, and I know when we put any project out, there are RFPs, there are already established protocols to make sure that things are ethical and not, you're not buying your way onto a bid. I absolutely do not believe, and I kind of think it's insulting, that to think that that would be a case here with the aquarium. I have to tell you, I also hear from people who are looking forward to this, and I do think if you want to put your money towards it, I don't think it's our prerogative to say, no, you can't donate to this. And if you don't want your name to be known, if you don't want people to know you have $100,000 to give and don't want to be contacted by every nonprofit in Central New York, you have that right. So I will be voting yes for this, and I think it's the right thing to do.
Thank you. Ben, could you speak to that?
Sure. Kind of briefly to that point, it is a not-for-profit. It is the foundation for the aquarium. It will be set up and subject to the not-for-profit law and all the duties that Legislator Abbott that everyone on a not-for-profit board should be familiar with, but that Legislator Abbott also mentioned. I'd also like to, I think the concern here is a quid pro quo, which is illegal. It is a crime. And so there's that aspect, but not even, putting the prosecute before you even get there, right? We have established procedures under state law and our county, long-established processes dealing with contracts. General Municipal Law 103, that's your bid contracts, your construction, your purchases. Those have to go in a public process. It's a competitive public bid, sealed bids, so the other bidders don't know what's coming in. It has to be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. And under 104B, that's our RFP, our professional services, and anything not under General Municipal Law 103 is we have an established process. The legislature established a process for that. It's back in 1991, and we've maintained that. General Municipal Law 104B requires you to have a competitive, open process for any sort of professional service contract. So really, all of these things are the guardrails, the protections to make sure that the public is involved, everything is above board, and there isn't an ability to even put in favoritism into the contract process. So, that's kind of the laws that we've all been operating under for a long time. There should be, I think, some protection in that and some comfort, but I understand, it doesn't assuage every concerns, but that's the legal framework we're operating under, the foundation, the county, and everybody would be operating under.
Thank you for speaking to that. Legislator Garland.
Yes, I just had a question. Thank you for explaining that, Ben. I just had with the group that's supposed to be managing it, Zoe Aquarium, did we already sign anything with them? Because there was a news article that said that they, have something already, a contract, I believe. Is that right?
We do, yes. We have a contract with them.
Okay. Is there anything that says that they can't donate? They're motivated. We're supposed to be paying them, $500,000 a year? And that's right now. Realistically, when this is up and running, they'll be making even more. So what's to stop them from coming in, making the donation? Because whether it works or not, the taxpayers, they'll have to carry that burden.
I will say I haven't revisited that contract in a while. It's so I don't want to speak out of turn on the exact clauses of it. What I can say is that they already have an executed contract, and it's for the management of the aquarium, assisting through the design because they have a good background in one of the specialties. There aren't too many people who do this at firms, excuse me. So they have the specialty to assist with design, what customers like, but their general goal is management, and they already have the contract for that. So any sort of donation they made wouldn't I don't know what quid pro quo there would be, other than they already have the executed contract for the duration, right? So I get what you're saying, and I don't know the terms of the contract. There very might be something in there, but that contract's already executed. There is no further contract to execute with Zoo Oceanarium. So what they would do after this point wouldn't impact any county decision, contract, et cetera. I also am not sure their profit base is based on the success of the aquarium. It is a contract that's an operations contract, so I don't know about them, their bottom line, business line, I won't speak to that, but donating to the aquarium when they take their profit from probably would cut against their bottom line. But that's, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
Is there any other discussion? I'm sure that my position is well established, and I've said more than enough. Is there any other discussion? Leader May?
Thank you. I guess first and foremost, I want to say that I stand behind everything and agree with everything that Legislator Abbott said. I understand and respect anyone in this body's concerns, but at the same time, we just approved $30+ million worth of bonding, subject to the same exact procurement requirements, same exact process. And I just can't help but think, well, why are we voting yes for that and no for this? Why is the process different? And it's a rhetorical question, but I can't help but notice or identify what the difference is. So I'll be voting in favor of this. I voted against the aquarium. That's no secret. But from my standpoint, voting for this legislation is the right thing to do, because our first and foremost purpose is to say that we're done appropriating for the construction of this project. Secondly, we're saying that it's on the proponents of the project to get to raise the funding they need to build this out at full scale. That protection to taxpayers, above all else, is most important to me. So again, I'll be voting for this, and I urge everyone else to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Leader Hernandez.
I think we take each resolution as an individual, right? I think with this local law, not resolution, there's just so much distrust with the aquarium and the process and everything that is involved with the aquarium. And I think just making sure that we have it as transparent as possible going forward is just important to us right now.
Is there any other discussion? Legislator Kelly.
Mr. Chairman, I was fortunate enough to serve on the subcommittee that updated our local ethics law in Onondaga County. And I would just ask that if we have any evidence to support claims of unethical behavior in county government, that we would refer them to the ethics board before we make unsubstantiated claims in a public meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I had the great honor to chair that committee. So, is there any other discussion? Legislator Brown.
Yes, I'm more responding to Leader May's assertion. My understanding of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, is once this local law is passed, we will forego the ability to do that. So the bonds and such that we voted on today, we were able to ask questions. We were able to look into them. We were able to see where that money was going. We won't have the ability to do that as a legislature if this local law is passed. If that's not what we're voting on, I apologize, because that's not my understanding. However, my understanding is that once this local law is passed, donations over a value of $1,500 won't need to be accepted by resolution. We just passed resolutions in reference to those bonds. So I'm more just clarifying, but you saying that makes me think that I'm misinformed. So I guess I'm kind of asking. I actually don't know process because I'm supposed to be talking to the chair. But Chair, if that's not what we're voting on, then I would like that cleared up, whether by Ben or someone else.
All right.
Do you want to clear that? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What you said is correct, legislator. That, yes. Yep.
Is there more discussion? Any more? Very well. Will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislators May? Yes. Hernandez?
No.
Brown? No. Garland? No. Meeker?
Yes.
Gunnett?
Yes.
Cody? Yes. Abbott?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Fiato?
Yes.
Harvey?
No.
Olson?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly? Yes. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
13 ayes, 4 opposed.
Local Law B has passed. Being as there is no unfinished business from the previous meeting and there are no announcements from this chair, Leader May, will you make a motion to adjourn?
Chairman, I move to adjourn until April Fool's Day.
April 1st it is. We are adjourned.